Hey everybody, it's Jane Johnston with the BriarHillGroup at REMAX, Camosun, host of Vancouver Island Time. I'm back and I'm here with an update with what's going on in the market up to date. We're looking up to June 30th and with a projection of what's going to happen. So I just wanted to go through the data so you can see it from start to finish. This is what I look at every month to try and figure out where the market's going when I'm pricing my clients' homes. So this is the total number of MLS listings over the past 2 years, as well as the total sales, which is the line. And what you see is that there are seasonal fluctuations in the number of listings, and this affects how you price homes. There are more people looking in the spring. There's also more competition. So what we look really at is what are other similar homes that have sold in your neighborhood, and we price the houses accordingly where we think they're going to sell. So what we see in 2018 was there was a little bit of a bump in September, and then we had our regular kind of drop down, and this is normal. Actually, when I got into real estate in 2006, we used to have two bumps, one in the spring and one in the fall, and now really we just kind of have one big hump that peaks in May. So if we look at 2019, we see a typical year where the number of listings starts off pretty strong. We have a few sales, and then the market starts to pick up in March, and it peaks in May, both in listings and selling. And then listings come out again in September. This is usually after people have finished their summer holiday and they want to sell their house before Christmas or winter vacation. So in January of 2020, we also started out strongly again. And in fact, the number of listings really picked up, and the number of sales was also quite high. We were going for a really gangbuster year, and then COVID-19 hit British Columbia, and the sales went down 55%, prices went down 10%, condos went down in overall value 15%. And then as we phase back things in, we see that there's a bit of pent-up demand, and in June we have a number of listings larger than we did last year. So we're seeing the April market really being reflected in June's market right now, and we're seeing a large number of sales. So in terms of average selling prices in Greater Victoria, this is average, so it is affected by the highs and the lows. And if there's more high end, then you're going to see a higher average. But we see, if we were to look at this from 20 years from now, we would see that it's kind of hovering around 900,000, and it went up to just over $1 million. However, let's look at this other data, which shows us averages and medians. So there were 399 homes sold last year in Victoria. This was 86.4% higher than last month and 14.7% more than last year. And while the average was 1,014,000, which is up 15% from last year and up 17% from last month, and up 17% from last year, it's actually only really up 10.2% in terms of the median price. So the median price for this past month was $865, and that's 3.4% more than last month, which was at $837. And then the median price last year was $785. So the median price has gone up about $80,000 over the past year for Greater Victoria. And then if we look at condos, 209 sold. This is 93.5% of last month, and it is less 3.2% than last year. So it's really rather equal. The average price was $480. The median price was $425, and this compared to $453 last month and $464 last year, with the median price last year of $420. So we're seeing year over year, $420 to $425. The condo market is being fairly steady, and the number of sales has gone down. And part of the reason for that is because condos right now are having trouble getting insurance. And so when you write an offer on a condo, you want to make sure that your building has insurance. And the reason for that is because you can't fund an offer if you don't have insurance. So this is the sales to active listing ratio. What this shows me is the whether or not we're in a buyer or sellers or balanced market. So as we get below here, below 20%, we're really in a buyer's market, definite buyer's market. When we're getting in the 20 to 30% range, we're in a balanced market. And then as we head up, we're heading into a seller's market. And just for your information, 2 years ago, we were at 90%. So that means 90% of homes were selling, and they were selling within a week. Right now, the average days on market for homes and condos is about 30 plus days. And we are heading a bit into a seller's market. But if we were to look at this over 20 years and look back at this time, it would look flat. So this shows townhomes and the pricing over the past 16 years, so since 2005 inclusive. And we can see that there was a rather flat period from late 2008, 2009 to 2016, and then it really bumped up over the 2-year period after that, and then it's kind of evened out. So the question is, what's going to happen over the next year? I think we're going to see a very, very active market. I know that everybody's talking about buyers and sellers right now being more active in the market and being aggressive on pricing. We're seeing multiple offers. People are very optimistic because they've overcome this period. They're also wanting to change their types of housing. So people who are in condos are seeking out houses where they have space. And people who are in houses downtown are seeking out housing out in the country. So it's very popular right now to move into areas where you have more space. And the configuration of housing is also changing. So people want more than one room to hang out in. And the reason for that is because people are getting on other people's nerves. Okay, so this is looking at houses. Again, it follows the same trend as the townhomes. And we can see over the past year, we had a bit of a decline in 2019, the early part, and then we've recovered over the latter period of 2020, and it looks like it's going to be strong. So if you want to know what's going on in your market, please give me a call. I'm Jane Johnston with the BriarHillGroup at REMAX Camosun, and I'd love to know what's going on in your neighborhood so that I could tell you what to expect, and we can look at trends and pricing and help you get ready for your move. All right, everybody, have a great day, and if you, again, just contact me if you want to know what's going on in real estate in Victoria. All right, take care, bye.